Hi everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Guten Tag. Вітаю всіх, хто з України. To be honest, I feel a bit nervous because I'm more accustomed to remote work, sitting just, in the idleness of my room, and here are so many people. Thank you for coming. It's an honor for me to be here. And I'm telling to myself that still you can accomplish some meaningful things despite the fear, and what makes true for many Ukrainians. And this is what my story is about today. So civil defense and designing for civil defense may sound a little bit like something from Cold War times, maybe. Does anyone has any ideas what the civil defense is? Please share your thoughts, because maybe it's not a very popular topic. How would you define this? Okay.
Keeping citizens safe.
Yeah, makes sense.
Giving them guidelines of what to do or how to help.
Yeah,
People.
yeah.
Okay, so
Maybe something else? Okay.
Quick response after an error.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. So the dictionary shares with us. Oh, sorry, while it's jumping. So the civil defense refers to the set of organized and planned measures, activities, and resources that aim to protect and prepare civilian populations and infrastructure for the wide range of emergencies, disasters, natural disasters, industrial disasters, and military conflicts. So here, definitely, I'm focused on the military conflicts. And so you see that civil defense could be split it into several sectors, and some of them you have already mentioned. So it sounds like a really complex field, but what I suggest is that we leave this bookish definition and bookish understanding a little bit aside and try to redevelop this understanding and feeling of the users as a designer. So let's, for a while, imagine some person in some country, and here I'm, for a reason, saying in some country, not referring to Ukraine for some minutes, because we all, for sure, have a lot of opinions, emotions, a lot of judgments about what is happening in Ukraine. We all had watched a lot of news about it, so it's absolutely natural and normal, but it could be bad for design. So to be more open-minded and to feel like let's call these people users still more, with more empathy, just imagine some person who wakes up in their bed because, let's say, someone is calling them. It's like 5 a.m. in the morning, maybe a mom or a friend, and the person is trying to realize that something horrifying is happening, that something is advancing from the eastern and southern part of the country, something that is killing people, something that is very dangerous, something terrifying. And here I'm saying also something because, of course, we know that these are Russian troops, that is a military conflict, that war happens sometimes in the history, that people will be killed, and it's like how we can describe, how we can name it. But these definitions are coming from our neurocortex, but when you again wake up at 5 a.m., your lizard brain responds, and this is a deep stress reaction, like really black and white. And so the only thing that our users could probably realize is that something really scary is coming toward their home, closer and closer to them and to their loved ones. And so the primary user need here is to run. And this is actually what many people are trying to do. This is their first weeks of war. But the problem is that their regular transport system is not working. Many roads are already under attack. Regular transportation like buses, taxis are not ready to operate under these circumstances. So government provides some free evacuational trains that connect the big transport hubs, like big cities, and are ready to move people to safer places in the country, but the capacity of the trains is really limited, and the crowding became even dangerous. This is a picture from my home city, like 18 months ago. So obviously not everybody is ready to take this challenge, like people with disabilities, older people, people who have small kids, who have several pets. They are not ready to go there, and the train goes without lights, with huge delays to try to figure out the safest way during the air raid attacks. And another concern is that these trains only connect big cities, but the people who are in smaller towns, they have their huge problem. They want to evacuate, but still their civil defense system is not prepared. It doesn't exist. So what happened? People like from, I would say, the actual actors of the system took step ahead to help this challenge. Individuals who has their own cars, small buses, just decided that they are risky enough just to start evacuating people. And these first very decentralized and very individual initiatives became very effective and became really life-saving. So very quickly, people gathered into groups. Some people used their own cars to evacuate people. In other people who had something, they donate money to fill the cars. And this, after some weeks, became very effective because on the way to the place, volunteers could supply some medicines, food, clothes to the people who decide to stay in the red zones. Mostly like older people refuse to leave their homes. And on the way back, they take people who are ready to evacuate. So also volunteers organized green corridors to evacuate people who are already under the occupied areas. So very fast, after just some weeks and months, these decentralized and individual initiatives growing up into big and like more multi-service projects, all non-commercial. And here is like the screen from one of such organizations that exists and effectively operates now. So you see that they are not only evacuating people, they also cook and deliver food, they supply medicine, foodstuffs, and they find cars that will do this. So people are donating their cars for these initiatives. Here is the mobile logistic hubs that such organizations are now establishing. So they put these constructions where they sort and keep the supply closer to the red zones. Another important thing that such organizations are now addressing is that they are transporting petrol to the regions where it's needed, but obviously no gas stations are working there. And last but not the least is that they are repairing cars, because maybe you are imagining the quality of roads is very let's say there are no roads and cars are driving under shooting and under air raid attacks. So they are hiring mechanics and they are repairing the cars. And this is the screen from such type of organization, and you see that they are publishing their results. More than 3,000. Okay, you see, a lot of people were evacuated, and almost 1,000 animals, and it's also very important. So they trying to be animal friendly as well. And this is just results from 1 week when I was preparing this presentation and was researching. You see, still almost 500 people were evacuating and 1 animal. And as I said, this started as individualized initiatives and grown up into big multi-services hubs that addressing this issue. But still, in the same time, individual initiatives, small group initiatives are still very effective in solving this problem. And here is the picture shared with me by my friend just some weeks ago. He's brave enough to go to red zones, and he was carrying the cat from there on the way back. Okay, so I mentioned bus, cars, trains. Also the boats, of course, were widely used when the Kakhovka hydroelectric station was blown up, so that caused a terrible flood. And but drones and such advanced technologies as this is also effectively adopted in Ukraine now in terms of delivery and transportation. So here is a photo of the boy who is like about to hug a soldier. And the story behind this is that the house of this boy was surrounded with the water, and he got trapped with his family under the roof of the house, and the soldier delivered the bottles of drinking water using the drone for some days so that the family of this boy could wait for people to rescue them. Okay, let's come back to user needs. So we agreed about that our user is stressed, many people are about to run, and another important issue that is a huge problem of this war is air raid attacks. So, you know, there is a movie, Sky Above Berlin, so there is Sky Above Ukraine. That's not anymore the source of, like, when you gaze in the sky and you have this, like, clouds and birds, and it's usually, for me, the sky is something about the peace. But today, unfortunately, for Ukrainians, it's more about this. And today, after 19 months of war, Ukrainian can identify the sounds of different types of missiles and drones and bombs just to predict their behavior. But of course, it was not like this. We were like normal people from the peaceful country who never saw such things in the sky. But of course, when you just turn your head up and see something like this in the sky, your obvious like instinct and immediate user need is to hide. Okay, so here let me pose you another question. Do you know where the nearest shelter is in your house or where you live? Yeah. Somebody knows. Are you from Ukraine? No, it's fine. Just either you know or you don't know. Okay, and near your office. Okay, still you. Good. And of course, you might understand that fast and accurate answer to this question would be life-saving during a air raid attack. So, and Ukrainians also didn't know where the nearest shelter is, and sometimes the air raid attack could happen just in the when you are somewhere in an unknown area of the city. So, the government, together with communities, established such kinds of maps, and now these maps are available in official website of every city, where you can just check the location of different types of the shelters. So this is a map from Lviv, this is from Kharkiv, my home city, but the tech and design professionals went a little bit beyond this and came up with a simple and brilliant solutions. It's just a bot, and you can share your location with the bot, and very quickly you will just instantly get the location of the nearest shelter. So you just redirect to Google Maps and run to this shelter. So, okay, but some more words about the shelter system. Of course, we inherited this from Soviet times, and unfortunately most of the shelters were not prepared for staying there like overnight. It was just like unusable. So people used like mixed purpose spaces like underground parkings. Here is the photo shared with me from one of my colleagues. Underground parking spaces and underground in big cities, like you see in Kharkiv, like people are living there in tents. We are living there in tents, and the Christmas tree was moved from the main square to underground. And this September in Kharkiv, pupils are having their classes also in the spaces that are adopted underground to take classes. But the shelter system is being developed, and there is like before and after picture of one of the school's basement that was successfully repaired, and this is the underground space of one of their hospitals. So And also we have a new norms that are coming, that all the shelters should be more accessible, like for wheelchairs, and have tactile navigation for people with visual. So yeah, it should become better, and there is a huge program, and people both from authorities and from local communities are working on this very hard today. But in the most convenient and the most comfortable shelter, still maybe you will not be able to spend all the time of war, of course, and as it's almost 19 months. So it's very useful to know when the air raid attack starts and when it finished. But the air raid system was also inherited from the Soviet times, and it was very, like, let's say, retro analog. So this guy, whose name is Stepan, he came up with a very simple and brilliant idea to connect this analog system with a digital app. And so they very quickly developed and tested the air raid alarm app that is now the second popular app in Ukraine after Twitter. So, and you will get the notification on your phone if there's an air raid attack alarm in your location, even in the silent mode of the phone. Also, they work on automating the control panels in the cities. And during the 19 months of war, this app got updates, and so now Ukrainians are not being notified when they have nuclear danger, when they have chemical danger, and they have artillery bombarding and the street shooting. So, but of course, Ukrainian people are joking that maybe it's not the updates that you expect to have in their app that you use daily. But still, it's brilliant, of course. Okay, and the final user need that I want to address is the urge to fight, because of course maybe many of you are aware about the story of Ukraine, that thanks to our soldiers, thanks to the help of our partners, we are able to fight and to protect Ukraine. But of course not everybody is on the front line, and not everybody is able to be full-time involved into volunteering activities. So there is a philosophy, I would say, that we call economic front or home front. And it means that while soldiers are fighting, teachers should continue to educate, and constructors need to continue to build the houses, and programmers write code, restaurants deliver good meals, and designers continue to design. And it sounds like a simple thing, but it's really a very complicated thing during the war due to mental health. So, but it is absolutely necessary for economic to continue at least to keep at least a semi-normal life. So here I want to share my own experience as an employee of Ukrainian design agency during the war, as of course employee design experience, employee service design is a very hot topic, and but maybe not many service designers is thinking about how the experience at work should be changed if the war started. And I'm very happy that not many of you are thinking about this. Because you are living in the peaceful countries, and I hope Ukraine will be one of those very soon. So how does the war affect the employee and the employee experience? And even in the safe regions of the country, it affects in a huge way, significantly. Some people are unable to work because they are too stressed and too anxious. Some people have their relatives on the front line. Some people have to evacuate because the front line is moving and the air raid attack dynamics is changing. So people, it requires very wise decision from the management to do something that will both support the country, support the employees, support the company, and just try to figure out what to do in this chaos. So my experience was very positive for me, and the work by the times, especially in the difficult times of the first weeks of war became a huge source of balance and support. So what company has done, the steps are simple but very efficient from my point of view. Our monthly company meetings, we work as a remote team. We have office and Lviv, but many people work from home. So our monthly meeting turned into daily meetings. And these daily meetings were very transparent, honest, very sincere, where management shared what is happening with the company, what is happening with the clients, what is happening in the city, what they heard will be happening on the front line, and employees from different regions of the country shared what is happening as well. So these daily meetings, and I should say that our CEO was by the time 8 months pregnant, but she was able to become, like the source of still some support and resilience for us. And another thing that was really brilliant solution, still very simple, is that establishing of the special type of leave, because people were and are still very active about volunteering and about supporting some activities, but still it's a good thing to do is to hold into the borders of your job contract, and if you want to volunteer for some days, you can request this war type leave and explain the issue, and you will get this leave that is not your holidays and that is not your sick leave. So we have this in the system now. And the third thing that is also maybe sound to you like obvious, but it was very important for me and for my productivity, is to separate all the work-related communication to the separate Slack channel, because especially in the first weeks of war, our work channel got flooded with the messages about the war, like about some donations, about something happening, about air raid attacks. But still, you're struggling to focus on your tasks, and it's very difficult to do during the war. But with this separate channel, people who are feeling like doing something about the war could go there and just join some donation, join some projects, and people who are trying to focus on the work tasks are just having their general Slack channel. And one more funny thing is this rocket emoji that went completely unpopular in our Slack channel due to it changed meaning, and nobody nowadays found it like funny or playful. And the last thing is about blackouts that happened the previous winter, and I expect it to happen this winter again, unfortunately. So attacks on their electrical systems causes that there were no electricity during the winter, and if there is no electricity, most likely you will have no heating in your house, you will have no water in your house, you will have no internet. I don't know your priorities here. You will not have your toilet working. So it's crucial for people who have newborn babies, and of course for people who just are alive, So the government established this I don't know how to translate it correctly, maybe the spots for unyielding, and here I trying to translate points of unbrokenness, so пункты незламности. These were the spaces where people could access internet, electric sockets, and some heating during these blackouts, but at the same time, the offices of design and technological companies turned into similar spots of unbrokenness, because very quickly management of the companies supported the office with Starlink internet, with autonomous electricity. It was the hot shower, it was the water, it was working sockets, and all this, illusion of normal life that is very important for people just to feel, especially during the winter. So here, instead of conclusions, as a service designers, we are here on this conference and in general, we're speaking a lot about changing the ecosystem, addressing some problems, and very often we think about the actors of the system, about the users, as about somebody who are like, let's say, lazy or don't want to go out of the comfort zone. We need to highlight the value for them. We need to make the learning curve like a little less frustrating for them. But the beauty of example of Ukraine, for me, is, and the hope, is that when people are united and when they are deeply understood that this challenge is their own challenge and there is nobody to address it, that they could become really very proactive. They could find agency. They are ready to rescue their possessions, their lives, their health, and just be ready to make a change. And I think this could be a hope for around the world, for other projects, for other challenges, and for us as a people. Thank you. Thank you for... Thank you. Thank you a lot. Yeah, thank you a lot. This all is for Ukraine and and for our heroes, and thank you for your support. And here is, like, in case you want to be friends, here is my LinkedIn and here is our company website. Thank you a lot.